On today's show, preparing plumbing for the holidays.
Who told you we're plumbers? We're plumbers.
I'm John Eccles.
Richard Sod. We are back, and thank you so much for last week, you guys watching the show. I hope that you guys learned a lot about water heaters. Today, we're going to just go straight into what not to do in the holidays for plumbing.
Absolutely. So obviously it's the holiday season. Thanksgiving is here. A lot of people are going to be coming over your houses. You're going to be going to theirs. And there's a lot of things that go on in the plumbing system that are affected by you, your family, children running around. The number one thing I would probably say is garbage disposals, wouldn't you say?
Those are notorious calls on Friday.
Absolutely.
Right.
The day after Thanksgiving is not only Black Friday for shopping, it's one of the busier plumbing days. And one of those hot topics is the garbage disposal. So let's go over a few things that we don't want to put in the garbage disposal.
Do not put the kitchen or the turkey in the kitchen sink.
Do not.
Don't do that.
No bones should go in your garbage disposal. It's not good. It doesn't chop them up the way that it should. Pastas, rice, things that tend to expand when they get liquid in them are really not good for the garbage disposal neither. They tend to jam up or chop up and then later clog the kitchen sink line a little bit down the way. Skin of any sort, human, chicken,
Kids,
turkey, kid, anything.
silverware.
Yeah. No,
Don't put any of that down that disposal, all right?
Yeah, so no skin, no children, no disposal, no silverware. Those are all items that obviously you want to keep out of there. Eggshells is another big one that break up and they tend to bind to each other. Right? You ever broken an eggshell and it kind of hangs on to each other?
Uh-huh.
Same kind of thing. It's going to bind to each other, and later on down the line, it really, really creates a mess. Some of those items that we mentioned damage the blades, gets hung up, overheats the motor, burns it out. A lot of bad stuff comes from stuff that we just think, oh, we got this machine underneath here that's supposed to chop and tear up some stuff. And so people, believe it or not, put some amazing items
They do.
down their disposal.
And in saying that, a lot of people spend a lot of money on their garbage disposal.
Absolutely.
But if you're not getting the 1 horsepower garbage disposal, maybe the 3/4 can handle a lot more than what a traditional garbage disposal can. The thing around it is when you put this stuff in there, it will clog it. You should scrape it in the trash first and then rinse it in the sink.
Absolutely.
Always.
Absolutely.
And that's just not for the holidays. You should do that and practice that all year round. But a lot of people, again, think, hey, I spent all this money on a garbage disposal, and I should be able to do that. But you can't.
Yeah.
And the skins that you guys are doing, cucumber skins.
Yeah, that's another one.
Potato skins.
Absolutely.
All that type of, and there's multiple other skins as well. But you put that down there, it will typically make it through the garbage disposal, and then it stops up the piping structure.
Yeah.
So just stay away from that.
Thinking about it, I would even go on edge saying, even if you don't own a garbage disposal, I wouldn't shove that stuff down my kitchen sink regardless.
No.
A lot of it, the rice, the pasta, obviously the bones you wouldn't. People put that in there because they think it's going to chop it up. But you just need to be wary of what's going down that drain because, again, the skins that he's talking about, just like the eggshells, if you think about it, you ever skin a cucumber or a potato?
Absolutely.
What's the skin do? It sticks to each other. And as it gets wet, that's what ends up happening. And then it gets in your and then it can't make a turn. And then you just end up with a problem. And then you call us, which, we're happy that we do, but let's try to prevent it so you're not wasting your money, right? Another big thing is toilets, right? So you're going to have a house full of people. Your toilet's going to get used a lot more. The only thing that needs to go in the toilet besides bodily fluids and functions is toilet paper. Paper towels, regular towels, kids' toys, all those items need to stay out of the commode. And I know that everybody tries to as much as they can, but a lot of times people will put paper towels and napkins that aren't designed to go into your plumbing system through your commode, thinking, oh, if I hit this lever, it disappears, right? It will for a moment, but it's coming back, I promise.
Yeah.
So
the things that a napkin actually going through the toilet will get into our plumbing supply, right? And then it'll stop. The water will leave that napkin, and it will sit there and stick to the pipe. Now, if there's a bunch of use going on, which there is typically during the holiday, sometimes they can go ahead and get it out. If not, it's just going to stay there and stick and dry up.
Right.
And you'd be really surprised if you cut open our plumbing pipe, that napkin will still be there months later.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It dries like concrete on there.
Yeah, especially if you're not one of these people that have maintained their sewer system. I guarantee you got some sludge and stuff in your line probably anyway, and you're just giving it more, just stuff piling on top of each other. And speaking of preventive maintenance, now is a great time if you've already purchased or if you own some Bio One to go ahead and put that in your system, to go ahead and get. If you're not one of those people that regularly maintain and put your system in a good working order, then you need to go ahead and probably start doing that immediately, and probably do it throughout the holiday season to help your plumbing system. If you're not one of those people that do it on a regimen basis, and I actually got a bottle of it, I brought it in. So I mean, if you don't have this is a product that we sell. You can't get it, I don't believe, at a big box store. You have to call us to get it. It is 100% septic safe. It's 100% environmental safe. Matter of fact, I believe it has no harmful chemicals in it whatsoever, right? It's all organic.
It's enzyme.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
This stuff eats food. So when you install this into a drain system, right, what it's going to do is it's going to eat that grease. It's going to eat that food waste. Now, what a lot of people will do when they get a stoppage is they'll go to a box store and buy liquid Drano.
Right.
Don't do that. That is an acid.
That's right.
And it's not meant to eat food waste. So this eats food waste. So if you do get a stoppage and you have a bottle of this is what you want to use. Don't use liquid plumber.
Yeah, it's actually really good. It's a really good product. We got a pretty good story about it. I'll tell in another about the grease and the. I'll go ahead and tell you. So we did a cookout at the shop, and one of our associates, Jose, doesn't know how to cook very well and spilt grease and oil everywhere, all over the floor. We're like, man, this is going to create a big stain, which it did. So I said, well, look, let's just play with the Bio One. So we sprayed Bio One all over it, and we put some water on top of it to help activate the enzymes. What did it do the next day?
Gone.
100%.
It ate it all.
Yeah, we were so surprised. I mean, even us that deal with it on a day-in, day-out basis, I would have never thought it would have done as good a job as it did, and it was amazing. So from there, it was kind of cool because all of our plumbers saw it, and so immediately they're like, "Oh man, our customers absolutely need to have this in their repertoire or their cabinets to help them out." Another question that came in was, why does it seem like plumbing companies are always so busy during the holidays? And so we wanted to address that real quick as well. And people don't realize this, Richard, but in the holidays, do you spend more time indoors or outdoors?
You're indoors.
Indoors, so a lot of indoor activities. In the holidays, do you go to quite a bit of get-togethers, parties?
Absolutely.
Right? So your plumbing system, not only is it working harder because the weather's harsher on it and those water heaters are moving, freezing pipes might have to be tended to, but the usage of your indoor facilities are being used so much more and at a capacity that they're just not used to.
Right.
Right? And when you have other people in your home, right? When you run a car, are you easier on that car, or do you like to gun it a little bit?
Yeah, I'm a little bit more hard on that car.
Right? Well, when people come over to your house, it's the same thing, right? I mean, it's not like they're typically trying to break it, but they're just not as careful as if it was their own. So all those things tend to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Reasons, I guess. Those are the reasons why plumbing business in the wintertime tend to pick up. And
just more usage.
Yeah, just a ton more usage. Just like in the summer, we see an influx in the AC industry. Why? Because the AC system's being used nonstop. So, it's a good season to be about. There's going to be a lot of problems on Friday, unfortunately. Hopefully, a couple of y'all get to see this video and don't have to call us. Y'all can do some of these tips that we've talked about.
That's right.
Yeah.
And last week we went over water heaters. I want to tell you guys one more time, now is the time to get your water heater maintained.
Absolutely.
With this weather, it's working a lot harder than where it was a few months ago. So you guys get that done. Make that water heater last longer.
Absolutely.
Do your drain treatments.
Absolutely.
That will keep you away from calling us.
Yep.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Thank you guys for watching. As usual, call us. John, Richard, we're in the office. Any questions or concerns, even if you don't hire us and you hired somebody else, something doesn't seem right, we will help you. Call us.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.